All right, Shalom. I want to start off as always by giving all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Racha HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love unto the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this morning's lesson, I wanted to read the book of 1 Kings, the 13th chapter. And I wanted to go into the story, man, because for us as teachers, prophets, apostles, whatever, for us as men of the Lord, all right, it is our duty to do what is commanded of us from the Most High. Regardless of what anyone says unto us, regardless of anyone's status or whatever, okay, who it is our duty to do what the Lord says and be obedient. Because if you're not obedient unto what the Lord commands you, okay, brother, this goes for any one of us. If you're not obedient to what the Lord commands you, there can be serious consequences. All right? Very serious consequences for disobeying the Most High. And this account here in 1 Kings, the 13th chapter, gives a good example of that. All right? I'm sure most brothers may have read this chapter before, but if not, we're going to go into it today. And if you have read it before but haven't read it in a while, there can be a refreshment unto you. But this is a powerful chapter, man, especially for us as believers, bro. Very, very important for us to take heed to what the Lord says or else, all right? So let's get into this chapter here. Lord willing is edifying, all right? So it says, a prophet denounces Jeroboam. Verse 1 says, at the Lord's command, a man of God from Judah went to Bethel, arriving there just as Jeroboam was approaching the altar of burnt incense. Then, at the Lord's command, he shouted, O altar, altar, this is what the Lord says. A child named Josiah will be born into the dynasty of David. On you, he will sacrifice the priests from the pagan shrines who come here to burn incense, and human bones will be burned on you. That same day, the man of God gave a sign to prove his message. He said, the Lord has promised to give this sign. This altar will split apart, and its ashes will be poured out on the ground. When King Jeroboam heard the man of God speaking against the altar at Bethel, he pointed at him and shouted, seize that man. But instantly the king's hand became paralyzed in that position, and he couldn't pull it back. At the same time, a wide crack appeared in the altar, and the ashes poured out, just as the man of God had predicted in his message from the Lord. So this was a true prophet of the Most High, man. He gave a prophecy. He gave a sign, right? And it came to pass. And the Lord even paralyzed the hand of Jeroboam for pointing at the prophet, right? For trying to seize him. So this was a man of the Lord. Okay, he wasn't just no regular smuggler person. This was a prophet of the Lord, man. All right, as we can see in these couple of verses here, right? So now, jumping down here to verse 6, it says, the king cried out to the man of God, please ask the Lord your God to restore my hand again. So the man of God prayed to the Lord, Yahweh, and the king's hand was restored, and he could move it again. So he prayed for Jeroboam's hand to pretty much be restored back to his former state, and it happened. So once again, this is just further proving that this was a prophet of the Lord. Okay. It says, then the king said to the man of God, come to the palace with me and have something to eat, and I will give you a gift. But the man of God said to the king, even if you gave me half of everything you own, I would not go with you. I would not eat or drink anything in this place. For the Lord gave me this command, you must not eat or drink anything while you are there, and do not return to Judah by the same way you came. So this was the command from the Lord to the prophet. Okay. Don't eat nothing. Don't drink nothing while you're there. Don't return to Judah by the same way you came. Okay. That was the message from the Lord. That was the command of the Lord. All right. Keep this command in mind. Okay. Because we also been given commands through the Spirit. All right. In the scriptures. We know what's commanded of us. Right. It says, so he left Bethel and went home another way. Verse 11, as it happened, there was an old prophet living in Bethel, and his sons came home and told him what the man of God had done in Bethel that day. They also told their father what the man had said to the king. The old prophet asked them, which way did he go? So they showed their father which road the man of God had taken. Quick, saddle the donkey, the old man said. So they saddled the donkey for him, and he mounted it. Then he rode after the man of God and found him sitting under a great tree. The old prophet asked him, are you the man of God who came from Judah? Yes, I am, he replied. Then he said to the man of God, come home with me and eat some food, right? Lord just told, the Lord gave him a command. Don't eat don't eat nothing while you're there. Okay? And drink nothing while you're there, right? But this prophet came to him and said, oh no, come to my home and eat some food with me, right? It says, no, I cannot, he replied. I am not allowed to eat or drink anything in that place. So the prophet told him what the Lord told him, okay? It says, for the Lord gave me this command, you must not eat or drink anything while you are there, and do not return to Judah by the same way you came. But the old prophet answered, I am a prophet too, just as you are, and an angel gave me this command from the Lord. Bring him home with you so he can have something to eat and drink. But the old man was lying to him. So the old man was a prophet, right? But what he told the man was a lie, right? He was an old prophet, a more seasoned prophet, I should say, right? And he gave him, some words that wasn't true, right? This was a test for that prophet, man. Okay? This was a test for him from the Lord to see would he be obedient to what he told him, man. Pay attention, brothers. Pay attention to this, man. Read between the lines. Read between the lines, bro. This older prophet telling this younger prophet, hey, look, this, that, and the third, it was a lie. And the Lord did it like that to test this man, right? To see would he be obedient. It says, so they went back together, and the man of God ate and drank at the prophet's house. So he disobeyed the Most High, man. It says, then while they were sitting at the table, a command from the Lord came to the old prophet. He cried out to the man of God from Judah, this is what the Lord says. You have defied the word of the Lord and have disobeyed the command of the Lord your God. Disobeyed the command the Lord your God gave you. You came back to this place and ate and drank where he told you not to eat or drink. Because of this, your body will not be buried in the grave of your ancestors. So the Lord gonna kill them for defying his word. It says, after the man of God has finished eating and drinking, the old prophet saddled his own donkey for him, and the man of God started off again. But as he was traveling along, a lion came out and killed him. His body lay there on the road with the donkey and the lion standing beside it. People who passed by saw the body laying in the road and the lion standing beside it, and they went and reported it in Bethel, where the old prophet lived. When the prophet heard the report, he said, it is the man of God who disobeyed the Lord's command. The Lord has fulfilled his word by causing the lion to attack and kill him. Then the prophet said to his sons, saddle a donkey for me. So they saddled a donkey, and he went out and found the body laying in the road. The donkey and the lion were still standing beside it, for the lion had not eaten the body, nor attacked the donkey. So the prophet laid the body of the man of God on the donkey and took it back to the town to mourn over him and buried him. He laid the body in his own grave, crying out in grief, oh, my brother. So he was, sorry for the brother, right? It says, after the prophet said to his sons, when I die, bury me in the grave where the man of God is buried, lay my bones beside his bones. For the message of the Lord told him to complain against the altar of Bethel and against the pagan shrines and the towns of Samaria will certainly come true. So this prophet, man, he disobeyed the Most High, okay? And that one act of disobedience cost him his life, man. Now, he still was a man, the Most High, right? It didn't say, he was a wicked, no. I mean, he just disobeyed the Most High, bro, okay? And that one act of disobedience cost him his life, man. So it's very important, brothers, right, that you stick to the scriptures. No matter what anyone says, man, if you know what's right, do what's right, man. Don't do what's outside of what's written, okay? Because there can be consequences for that, right? Now, I'm not saying that the Most High will take your life. I don't know. But there is judgments. There is consequences, brother, for disobeying the Most High, bro, okay? Some very harsh things could happen unto you, man. So just take this account here as an example, all right? Keep it in your memory, as you go about your walk, and just fear the Lord, man. Okay, that's the whole point. Just fear the Most High and be obedient, all right? So I'll close out with that, man. I'll praise you. How about you, Shai? Shalom.